On January 5, 2025, New York City implemented congestion pricing in Midtown and Lower Manhattan to praise and condemnation. At the behest of Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul, drivers coming into Midtown and the Financial District will be charged $9 to enter the city through selected routes. While congestion pricing is not a new policy, it is for New York and America in general. In order to dissect the potentialities behind this policy, we first have to understand what it is and what it entails. Congestion pricing is a toll put on drivers entering the designated congestion relief zones outlined by New York State. The purpose of these tolls are to reduce traffic in said areas and to raise funds for public transportation such as trains and busing. Congestion pricing is a toll put on drivers entering the designated congestion relief zones outlined by New York State. The purpose of these tolls are to reduce traffic in said areas and to raise funds for public transportation, such as trains and busing. In New York City, drivers coming into the designated congestion relief zone will pay $9 to enter. There are a few exceptions to this rule, however. No tolls will be charged for vehicles using the FDR Drive, West Side Highway, or roads connecting to the Hugh L. Carey Tunnel. Cars traveling inside the congestion relief zone will not have to pay for interzone travel. Outside of these exemptions, there are also different fees for different vehicles and drivers at different times. Tolls will be collected through E-ZPass. Critics of this policy have stated audaciously that congestion pricing is a tax on working-class people who already have to pay tolls to enter the city via certain bridges and tunnels. This will dissuade many from seeking employment and entertainment in New York City, causing economic woes. Critics also condemn the implementation of the policy as a means for a corrupt Democratic-controlled state to siphon even more money from average New Yorkers and funnel it into their pockets. District 17's Congressman Mike Lawler stated on his website that Hochul's plan will penalize people for the sin of needing to commute to Manhattan to earn a living, including small business owners, police officers, firefighters, teachers, and other essential workers who serve New York City and our state every single day. Hochul's plan charges these folks up to $2,500 per year just to get to work. And then she has the gall to tell them she's doing them a favor by not making it $5,000 a year. Thanks a lot, Kathy. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has criticized congestion pricing also, saying that New Jersey has never been meaningfully consulted on the design of this plan, either in its initial iteration or the version that was announced today. Perhaps that is because this effort has always simply been a way to take money from the pockets of New Jersey residents to bail out the MTA from a mountain of debt. On the flip side, proponents and supporters of congestion pricing argue that this policy will lessen the burden of traffic in the densest part of America, reduce carbon emissions, and provide a wave of financial support to the MTA, which can be used for dire infrastructure upgrades and subway and busing expansions. Kathy Hochul posted on her website saying, "Commuters will see new and improved subway service, 2nd Avenue subway extension, investments in the LIRR and Metro North, and elevator service for seniors and people with disabilities and outer borough residents will benefit from proposed expansion of bus services and plans to build Interborough Express, eliminating 30 minutes of commuting time between Brooklyn and Queens." The MTA posted on their website an outline of the benefits which this policy will bring, including accessibility improvements at over 20 stations, modern signal systems on segments of the A, C, and BDFM lines for over 1.5 million daily riders, hundreds of new electric buses, 2nd Avenue Subway Phase 2 extension to East Harlem, and critical projects that keep our system in good working condition, such as structural repairs, power system improvements, and upgrades to bus depots. So, what's my take on congestion pricing? Well, I do generally agree with the policy, in theory. It will be a benefit to have less cars on the roads of Midtown and downtown Manhattan, and it will be good to funnel more money into New York City's public transportation. Less cars and more trains and buses will be a benefit to the environment and to New Yorkers living in the city. This policy will harm commuters living outside the city commuting in, as well as people coming in for various one-time appointments and whatnot. But the majority of people commuting into what has been designated as congestion relief zones take the train, so most people will not be harmed. There is also worry of commercial vehicles shipping produce into the city having to spend more to get in. But the law allows for said vehicles to apply for a waiver, and the congestion relieved by tolling individual cars will help clear the streets and allow commercial vehicles to reach their destinations faster. The biggest downside to congestion pricing is definitely the lack of waiver policies for first responders like paramedics and police. They still have to pay to enter the city, and that dissuades people from taking these jobs while living outside Manhattan, which is not a good thing. First responders should not have to pay a toll to make it to an emergency at 4 o'clock in the morning. Another major downside to this policy is the fact that it's New York Democrats implementing it. Having lived in New York all my life, I know very well how well-to-do policies lead to pay increases in politicians' pockets while regular people see marginal benefits. All in all, I hope congestion pricing leads to an increase in public transportation, a decrease in inner-city traffic, and a reduction in environmental damage. But it's New York we're talking about. Someone's got to benefit, and it's rarely the people who need to benefit the most.